morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 161. We're going to be talking about our big takeaways from the college football Saturday and the great day of NFL football. What takeaways and how it was just a great day for the NFL. And then we'll finish with Tim's best bets. He tries to go 4-0. We'll see how he results. So let's get it started.
Yeah. I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Socks.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes.
Eh.
All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. I'm here with Anthony and Tim. We're on episode 161, and like Anthony said, it was a very busy weekend and very good football weekend. Let's talk about our action-packed takeaways from this Saturday. Tim, why don't you start me off? What was your first game?
I think the first game, Oklahoma and Alabama. For Oklahoma, their defense stepped up big time. Got 3 turnovers. I think the one turnover that I seen that was the best was that Taylor Wine came around and knocked the ball away from Simpson and gave Oklahoma the ball, which I think was a turning point of the game. They were driving. I mean, I know they were down and on their side, but they were. I mean, Alabama's run. They've got to get something going because. Well, the biggest deal for Alabama is their 2 losses are against Florida State and Oklahoma. What are they known for? Blitzing.
Yep.
And their offensive line of Alabama cannot handle the blitz. And when he can't handle the blitz, Ty Simpson is he can't get out of the pocket. I mean, he can get out of the pocket, but he's scrambling for his life. And so I think that's the biggest deal takeaway on that is they can't help and they got to get the run game going. Jam Miller is nowhere to be found. I think they did find somebody in Daniel Hill. He had a couple rushing touchdowns. But, yeah, they just – too many turnovers, 3 turnovers. You can't have – and Oklahoma is for real as far as their defense. They are – I mean, Brent Venables got that defense, and Mateer just did enough to get him by. He didn't have to do a whole lot. Their kicking game – that kicker, I tell you what, if you need a kicker – any of the 32 teams next year, I'd get that kicker from Oklahoma because that man has got a leg on him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the biggest deal. I mean, this is now 2 losses. I mean, I still think they'll be in the playoffs, but I think Oklahoma's got to win out to make the playoffs. But this is a great win for them. So, I mean, I think Mateer, as the weeks go on, can get healthier and healthier. But, I mean, this is a great win for Oklahoma going to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a good shakeup, honestly, because, I mean, yes, I was shocked to see that. But, like, we've been saying, like, the top 4, not saying that'll change, but the top 4 has been Ohio State, Indiana, Alabama, and, I don't know, Georgia,
Texas
the other
A&M.
one, Texas A&M. So it's good to see that tree shake up a little bit. Like, give us something to look forward to. So we'll see if that changes Alabama's, trajectory a little bit.
Well, Oklahoma's got Missouri and LSU the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Should be victories. If they can get those 2, they're in the playoffs. No doubt.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been interesting to hear, the projections like change in and out. This team's got to do this, that, and the other. But Anthony, what was your takeaway from this Oklahoma-Alabama game?
Yeah, the Oklahoma team kind of reminds me of that flag behind you. When that defense is on, the offense doesn't have to do much to win a game. I will be honest, I was surprised that Alabama kind of came out slow. And I get it. That defense will slow you down. But, like, the way the offense has been stretching the field, because I feel like this year in college football, we haven't seen many teams that can stretch the field. Get those wide receivers down the field. That opens up the run. I think the flag behind me can do that. I think there's Ole Miss. But other teams, yeah, well, if they play someone that may have actually a good defense, well, we'll talk about that other times. But, yeah, I do. I think it's a big win for Oklahoma. This definitely does shake it up. I know Alabama dropped, but you kind of want to play these games. A lot of conversation on College Game Day recently has been about whether you actually want that first-round bye. A lot of teams want that home game.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing too to kind of think about. Yeah, I think if Oklahoma wins out their end, they'll take Texas's spot since now Texas has lost, and that will open the door for another SEC team. And we'll talk about where I think that 12th spot should go as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, why don't you take us into your first must-watch from this Saturday?
Yep, so I just kind of gave a little hint on it. Texas losing to Georgia this weekend. It felt like more of a beating than what that score was. Now, this game was 14-10 going in the fourth quarter. Texas had a little momentum. It was like, okay, they can maybe play with them. 21 straight points by Georgia in the fourth quarter. Texas just kind of fell apart at the end, right? And we just got done talking about Alabama and their schedule. Texas's schedule hasn't been great to them either with some of these games. But before this game, they were 5 quarters away when they were losing at Mississippi State. We talked about that on the must-watch. I think this is what you saw. You saw a team that just ran out of gas. Arch Manning definitely got affected in this game. But I think the biggest takeaway is Gunnar Stockton. I kept saying, I don't believe in this guy. I don't know what it is about him. I think he had 5 touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 rushing. Every point that was scored was due to something he did in this game against a great Texas defense. This will, unfortunately, eliminate Texas. And this is really good for Georgia because now they're talking about an SEC championship, playing for the SEC. But the one last thing I wanted to talk about this game. The surprise onside kick by Georgia and the recovery. It gave the Saints vibes. I believe it was the Super Bowl when the Saints did the onside kick. And it also shows why the NFL has messed up so bad with these kickoffs. Because even in the NFL, if you do an onside kick, you have to let the other team know. And then also, this is like where Pat McAfee and these guys that have done these, where we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, that was a game changer. That's gone now. And Georgia used it to their favor. They scored a touchdown, and then they got the ball back, went up and scored another touchdown. This just led to them kind of like pummeling on them. But NFL, I think you got to bring them back. I understand all the injuries and things like that, but it's not working out. I like that. Good win for Georgia.
Yeah, I would agree. Though definitely a good win, and it's good to see Gunnar kind of like feel that consistency throughout the entire game. So I feel like that's good, and it's a good time to have the momentum on your side.
Yeah.
Tim, how did you feel about this game?
Yeah, I think Kirby Smart has got that coach of Texas. He's got his number.
Yeah.
I mean, every time they play him, he knows almost Sarkisian. He just kind of knows how to game plan for him. He really does. I mean, Texas got a good defense, but they had no answer for Stockton. None. And that onside kick, I think, through the whole game, gave all the momentum to them. I know. Yeah. I think it was early in the third quarter, wasn't it? That they did it, or was it right at the kickoff?
I thought it was fourth quarter.
Okay.
So
that gives them all the momentum, and they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. I think that gave them all the momentum, and they were done. I think that they just got their number. But Anthony, I want to ask you this question: if Texas beats Texas A&M, now because Texas has 3 losses, right?
Yep.
Are now they back into the playoffs?
No. Well, okay, 1 second. I think you put them 12th. I think there's a problem, and we'll talk about like the 12th problem, but right. I do think you put them in. But you can't be holding Notre Dame hostage right now and saying that Texas can come in with 3 losses. Right. Texas was Notre Dame's Achilles heel because they still both had 2 losses, and now it's Oklahoma. Now we need Oklahoma to lose. So,
yeah, I just threw that out there because they play in 2 weeks. I think it's Thanksgiving weekend. They play each other.
Yeah.
I think a Friday night, I think it might be. That will be a good game, I think.
Yeah, and that would be a good, high quality win, obviously. So,
yep.
Yeah. No, it's definitely exciting times in college football for sure. Let's hear some more what happened this weekend. Tim, what was your second takeaway?
The Texas A&M South Carolina. I'm telling you right now, if you've got Marcel Reed in your backfield, you are never out of this game.
Yep. Down
30-3 at halftime. And they came storming back, and they ended up beating them 31-30. I think that was great. He was 16 of 20 in the second half, 298 yards and 3 touchdowns. That was a big win because they have a chance. I think still. I think that loss I would have took them out of having to bye definitely. Yeah. So now they've got a chance to run the table. They're still going to have Texas in 2 weeks. I think that's going to be a big one for South Carolina. Typical year. Yeah. That's a crushing loss. You can't score any points in the second half. Your defense just got lit up by Marcel Reed and Casey Concepcion, and you still couldn't score. You got Lenorius Sellers but under center, you still can't score a point. Not good. Not good. I mean, some coaches, could get fired for that. It's you have a 30-3 lead at home. And I think they were at Texas A&M.
Yep.
Yeah, and you blow it. It's just what their season's been like. They could only muster 76 yards in the second half. I don't know what I didn't. It was not good. The offensive line had no answer in the second half. Then the defense didn't show up in the second half for South Carolina, and let Marcel Reed just do whatever he did. Great win. I think this is one of these come from behind, kind of like this team behind here, that just put it on in the second half, and they showed why they're the number 3 team in the nation.
Yeah,
and they should be the number 2 team.
No, not now. Not now. Should have been this week, but not now.
Yeah.
You go, Lisa.
No, it's all good. Anthony, why don't you give me your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. They should have been 2 this week because of Indiana's close loss. But now you can't penalize Indiana for that because Texas A&M had to. That first half seemed like nothing could go right for Texas A&M. I mean, the fumble, the interceptions. I mean, South Carolina never really stopped them unless they got a turnover because Texas A&M was able to drive down the field, get close to the red zone, and then Marcel Reed throws a bad pass and it's intercepted. It was one of these games where we were texting back and forth and you're like, what's interesting? What's happening? And I was like, this game is like, what the hell's going on? And then I swear, because Notre Dame was playing, I was obviously watching that one. And I just kept looking back and it was like 7 points. Right. I'm like, what is... They started executing. I will say, even though it's a win and it's a close win, everything like that, that's the stuff that will build a team to bond more right before you're coming into college football playoffs because like I said, it felt like they had nothing going right, but they still kept getting after it. They still kept trying to do it. I think his name's Frank Beam, the coach.
Yeah. Shane Beamer. Frank is dead. He's the coach. Yeah.
Shane, I still think should be the coach there. They've had so many injuries this year for South Carolina. It's hard to kind of get momentum going. But Sellers is a top quarterback in obviously this upcoming draft. It's one of these things where you just wish you would have used his legs a little bit more in that second half because the arm talent was getting you the points in the first half. Second half, just put the team on his back.
Well, and he's running off the field. Getting the crowd going when he's running off the field. Well, yeah, you're up 30-3, but you didn't show up the second half.
Yep.
You got to at least put some kind of effort in. You didn't even score 1 point. You didn't even kick a field goal.
Well, and one question: what adjustments if you were Beam and going into halftime? What adjustments would you have made? Because the problem is you guys everything it was just in your favor. Yeah. The ball was bouncing your way on everything. Even that fumble where Marcel Reed is turned backwards. Stupid, and he's going to learn from it. Never just go down with the sack. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, they can all tell you all this. And he throws it backwards right to a South Carolina guy that just picks it up and starts heading the other way. That stuff is just one of those things when you go into halftime, you're like, well, what do we change? Nothing. Luck is on our side. And then they come out, and Texas A&M obviously made their changes, and you had it became the game that it was supposed to be, an ass beating, but it was the problem of Texas A&M just could not get anything going that first half.
Yeah, well, I would say if I was the coach being like, keep what you're doing, but look out for this, that, and the other to change,
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're up 30-3, and then they start scoring. You got to make adjustments then. I mean, you can't just wait until it's too late. Next thing you know, you're down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, well, and I will say for Texas and A&M, it's good for them, I think, too, at this time of the year to see that, okay, we can fall a little bit and bounce back and, make up the difference. So I think that's definitely a good quality that they're going to need going into playoffs.
Yep.
Anthony, why don't you take us into your next topic here?
Yeah, so I don't have a game. It's just the curse of the 12th spot for the playoff prediction. So if you remember last week, Memphis was placed at the 12th spot. And these are these outer teams that just deserve a spot in because of the equality of the college football, blah, 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 blah. Memphis gets the 12th spot last week. They lose. So then you're like, oh, USF, who we thought kind of deserved it in the beginning, USF gets it. They lose. They lose to Navy. And yes, did they only lose by 3? But it's, again, you lost to Navy. This is why I think it has to be the 12 best teams for the 12 spots
Yeah.
So when you ask me, does Texas deserve to be in even if they beat Texas A&M? Yes. But you have to give up this bullshit that you're running right now. You already took away the top 4 being conference winners. I agree with that. But it's the top 12 teams. The AP poll should be pretty much what the college football playoffs is going to be. There shouldn't be this addition of like, well, even though they're 21st, they're going to get in over a team that's at 13. Makes no sense. The team that will most likely take it is George Mason, I think it is. No,
James Madison.
James Madison, yeah.
Yeah, JMU. Yeah.
Yeah, James Madison will take the 12th spot. They actually won this past weekend 58-10. I think this will be one of those things where we'll see next week if they can break it. I don't know who they're playing or whatever, but it doesn't seem like it matters. I would rather see either an SEC or a Big Ten team because next weekend, this upcoming weekend, USC plays Oregon, and I feel like both teams actually kind of deserve to be in the playoffs. So one of them is going to get lost and in this whole shuffle because of it, or you throw a Texas in there, or you throw one of these. There's just way better teams out there than that's an easy win. When you play James Madison, it's going to be an easy win. I truly believe that. Boise State was a bad beat last year. We saw all that. But yeah, the curse of the 12th spot, we'll see if whoever gets it is going to win next weekend.
You could ask me, Lisa, where is James Madison located? I couldn't give you a state. Like, I've never even heard of that school.
I think it's the East Coast, northeast.
I think it's one of the Carolinas.
Oh, it's southeast. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the Carolinas. I think it might be North Carolina.
No, I'm not going to say that, they don't deserve a chance, but, we haven't been talking about them. They haven't been a topic all season. It's one thing that, we've been talking about, I'm just going to throw out there, Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? Better quality teams that don't have to be well-known names, but, where does that come from? You're saying they're going to be a 21st seed or something down there in the high 20s, and then they just get a chance. What about all those other teams that had quality wins? I don't know. I think that's silly.
I'll say this: they are in Pennsylvania, Harrison.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Virginia, Harrisonburg, Virginia. But this is where I get fearful because this opens the spot of possibly a second ACC team getting in, and I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
It's those two conferences that I think are beating up on each other that deserve a third team in, or that 12th spot.
Yeah.
Instead of giving Big 12 another team or ACC. No. Those guys, they don't deserve it. So, but this is how they're going to do it. So everyone's got to play by the rules.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll change it just a little bit next year. Tim, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean that is the curse of the 12th seed right now.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row. So yeah, I totally agree. I think you got to have the 12 best teams. I know you want to have some of these smaller conferences have a shot in the playoffs, but do they really? I mean, just like in March Madness, does the 64th seed really have a shot at this?
Yeah.
No, because once you get down to the Elite Eight and the Final Four, more times than not, it's the best teams are moving on. Yeah. Just like in college football, it gives them a shot. I get it why they do it, because so that it gets more range of. Well, you never know. You could get a Boise State 5 years ago or 10 years ago that came out of nowhere to beat Oklahoma. Or you could get a James Madison to beat. I get it, but I don't get it. When you get only 12 teams, you're getting the 12 best. You should have the 12 best teams.
Yeah.
Plain simple.
Yep. Agree with that. Okay. Well, let's move on to Notre Dame. Anthony, why don't you give me a recap of this game?
Yeah. So right off the bat, Pat, in the future, coach for Narduzzi for the Pittsburgh, shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth. And I got a bone to pick with this guy, okay? Because he's a sorry-ass coach calling a timeout with 3 seconds remaining to score a touchdown at the end because their offense never scored a touchdown all game. And so I'm not going to count that bullshit. And if I'm Marcus Freeman, you're lucky I shook your hand at the end. He gave him a hard dab. But he was like, no, you don't do that shit. And you know why you don't do that shit? Because Notre Dame could have ran that score up on you after you made that stupid-ass comment about that, okay? And they didn't. So guess what, Notre Dame? Put that right there. Because the next time you play him, put 100 on him. I'm tired of that bullshit. Yeah. Second thing, Freeman. I love this defense. I do. Because when you look at this defense, that offense was scared. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. And when they did throw the ball, they were throwing interceptions half the time. that defense looked very good today. They got on Saturday. They got a lot of pressure after him. Jeremiah Love. When are we going to put him in Heisman talks? I'm sorry. If all you're going to talk about is quarterbacks, then make that the rule. It's just a quarterback thing. Jeremiah Love is the best running back in college football. He left that guy's jockstrap at the 50-yard line while all the Pitt saw was his ass just running down that field. That was crazy. I've watched that play like 5 or 6 times. Awesome play, resulting right after it to a pick 6, and it was gone. Pittsburgh was out of this game. And then also, too, the 2-point conversion that we stole from them. Obviously, we throw a pick 6, not great by Carr, and then we pick off their two-point conversion and go get 2 points. Pitt had 219 yards for this game. Now, that's if you count that final drive. I don't count it. They only had 140 yards. That is a win for the offense. Final thing I'll say right here real quick is CJ Carr has to look better. Has to look better. He was less accurate this week. 2 interceptions, 1 being a pick 6. It can't have that. And honestly, it could have been both of them being pick 6s because the guy ran about 1,000,000 miles before he got actually tackled. You may hate Notre Dame for their schedule, for whatever it is, but if you're a football fan, you have to respect them. They are dominating teams at the line of scrimmage. They're able to stretch the field. They're able to run the ball. And if you still don't respect Notre Dame, then you need to go get a glass of water because you're just thirsty for hating right now. That's just what it is. And guess what? If you want to beat them, then schedule them. But you don't want to schedule them because you don't want to play them outside your conference. And guess what? Show me the money if you want to put them in a conference. Great win by Notre Dame. They got 2 more games, Syracuse and Stanford. Should be easy wins. Should mean they're in. I think they're one of the top 5, if not top 4 best teams in college football. They're not going to get the respect because of the 2 losses, whatever. Great win on Saturday.
Yeah, no, it was a very exciting big start to the game. We kicked it off, they went whatever, and then it was just touchdown, and then boom, picked off. It was just like, holy crap.
Yep.
And then to even them recover quickly after CJ Carr's CJ. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. And then they took over that, 2-point. It was very action packed. The teams were so involved. I do have a feeling that the drama outside, carried into here, but Notre Dame shut them up. And then, they just had that, little backstabbing little jab at the end there. But, we still took away the W. So that was good. Tim, what did you feel about this game?
Yeah, Pat Tarduzzi, I want to talk to you. You thought this game didn't mean nothing? Well, guess what? Your team played like that as well.
Yep.
Because you got your ass handed to you. I know they won 37-50, but this game wasn't even close.
No.
Yep.
Jeremiah Love, like you said, his campaign keeps running. I think he's going to New York. Whether he wins it or not, I don't know. I doubt it because it's a quarterback-driven league or whatever. But another person you didn't mention, Anthony, was Malachi Fields.
Yes.
7 catches for 99 yards and 2 tutties. And that one hell of a catch he had was sick. I mean, that was crazy. And I think we need to apologize to Chris Ash. This defense, like you said, only give up 219 yards. And they really didn't give up. They gave up 0 points because the pick 6 is not on him. And that one, that's garbage. You can't count that one. I think if they win the next 2, they're getting a home game.
Yes. And I think they deserve one at this point. I think they deserve one now because nobody wants to respect that, they beat a ranked team. I will say this too. College Game Day was just trying to hype this up so bad of there might be a chance. We showed Tony Dorsett and back in 19 and whatever. It didn't matter. It didn't matter, and I'm so glad that because I'm going to be honest with you, I can't do TikTok live. I can't be on live when I'm watching Notre Dame because I was aggressive. I was going off because I just wanted to beat the shit out of them. We left. We had to leave our house. I didn't know about that last touchdown until I saw the score, and I'm like, scrubs on scrubs. And then I watched that he called a timeout with 3 seconds. That's soft. And you know what, Pat? I don't think you guys win a game the rest of the year. Because you got Georgia Tech and you got Miami, and those teams are way better than what you are.
Yeah, no, definitely having people root more against them than for them, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Okay, well, let's transition into NFL. Let's talk about our fantasies. Anthony, kick me off. How's your fantasy going?
Yeah, so I changed my team name this past week to This Team Sucks. And, I was being honest. It's they suck. Didn't play Debo this morning, so that wasn't great. Who would have thought that he would have went off for 20 points today? But I had Josh Jacobs, Rico Dowell, and James Cook, 3 out of the top 8 backs based on what Fantasy Football Live put for their thing, right? Josh Jacobs gets hurt, so he gets me 4 points. Rico Dowell doesn't do shit today. James Cook, if he doesn't catch that touchdown pass, doesn't do shit either. And then I played someone that had Josh Allen, who came out today with 45 effing points, which I come off of last week playing someone that had Jonathan Taylor for 50 damn points. So what I'm going to say is, for my fantasy, is my team name this week, in case that's going to be the running part of this. And also, real quick before I give the team name, I'm going to punish myself if I end in last place. My league does not do one. I'm going to do something if I end up in last place. So, honestly, if you guys want to comment or what you guys think I should do, I will have a punishment. But my team name this week is going to be Monica Lewinsky of Fantasy Football, because I feel like I'm under a desk right now just gobbling the fantasy gods right now.
Well, it's come back to bite you.
Yeah, so I've lost. I'm going to lose this week. The person's going to score 160 points, and I'll be lucky to score 110, 120. So, yeah, tough week.
Oh, that's unfortunate to hear there. I'm sorry to hear that.
You're relishing in it. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, waiver wire wizard.
Well, and there'd be so many times where Lisa's like, so how's it going? If I'm not talking, it's probably not going well.
Yeah, probably not. Right.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm going to doze back off on a nap. And it's like, okay, when you wake up, it's probably not going to be much better. So.
That's wonderful.
Well, I'm excited to see if I can, comment a few punishments for you there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few things that could get cleaned. I can think of a couple things.
Okay.
Tim, how's your fantasy going?
I'm up by 6, but I have a 1% chance of winning. He still has Dak Prescott and CD Lamb Monday night.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I put Devin Singletary on my bench. He had 16 points. I don't think that's going to matter too much. I mean, I'm only up by 6, so let's say that's 14 more points. I get 100. He's got 2 people still left. Yeah, he's just killing it. And maybe Josh Allen should have given a couple of his touchdowns to you, because he didn't need to have 6 touchdowns and have a 50 burger for fantasy.
Well,
Good God Almighty.
And just to rub the salt in the wound, you know what they would do? They put James Cook on the left side, act like they're going to give a swing out there, and then Josh Allen go to the right and score a touchdown.
Right.
They did it twice, and he scored 2 touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, no, that's a nut punch every time you've done that.
Yep.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, I'll probably be 6 and 5. I'm kind of glad there's only 3 weeks left. If I make the playoffs, it don't matter. But I'm getting beat by a team that's 2 and 8.
Yeah.
So he must have really had a lot of buys in the last 3 weeks and had to pick up waiver wire people, because his team is really good. It's just, and I've gotten beat twice by him already this year.
Yeah.
Handily twice.
Yeah.
He's got a good team.
You're going to be 2 out of his 3 wins, so feel good about yourself there.
No kidding. Yeah. Ugh.
Well, let's get into this NFL games. There were some good ones today. So, Tim, why don't you start me off? What's your first NFL takeaway?
Well, why don't we just what we just talked about? Buffalo and Tampa Bay.
Please.
We had the Josh Allen day.
Yep.
Hey, you know what Josh Allen said? We got beat by Miami last week. Oh, my beer. I'm going to show you what's all about. 6 touchdowns today, 3 passing, 3 rushing. He was all of it today. He was all of it. This game was very exciting. If you watch it, 10 lead changes, which is, I think, almost a record. Tampa played well for about half of, I'd say probably 3 quarters, and then they just kind of fell apart. Baker was covering up that secondary of the Bills, and Sean Tucker was running all over the place, but then he had a key fumble, and then they stopped him again, and then they ended up scoring. It was just, and then we have the Keon Coleman issue.
Yeah.
A healthy scratch. Uh-oh. Well, he missed some team meetings this week. So McDermott says, well, guess what? You're not playing.
Yeah.
He didn't need him. Josh Allen choked 317 yards passing. He did throw 2 interceptions. So if you had Josh Allen, I think Bob Modrow had him. He had for 52 points. You take them other interceptions off, that's close to 60.
Yep.
Wow. this is a win they needed to have after these big losses. There was some doubting going on. Oh, can Buffalo, can they come back? Can they, because they've lost a couple in a row. They showed they ain't gone yet. They ain't leaving anytime soon.
No, definitely. I feel like this podcast has had a couple conversations that Josh needs to play better. He's got to get his head out of his butt kind of thing. So I feel like, this was his way of being like, I'm still here. I still got it. We're all getting back on track. So I think it was a good showing. Unfortunate for Anthony this week, but it was still a good showing for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Anthony, how'd you feel about it besides fantasy?
Yeah, outside of fantasy, we said it when we talked about must-watch game. This was a must-win for Buffalo. This now, like even we're going to talk about the next game, that's the AFC West and the Chiefs, and there's some of these teams that because they're losing some of these games that they should have won, they're kind of looking from the outside in. And that's not usual because there's teams in their division that are playing better than they did last year. The Patriots, the Broncos, the Chargers, things like that now. So Josh Allen was like, okay, this is a playoff game. And that's what it felt like for Buffalo today. It was a playoff game. We will run him 100 times if that means we got to score a point. I don't care. I do think the Keon Coleman thing is getting a little bit crazy because him not showing up to meetings, this is not the first time he's been punished for this. This is the second time, which the first time, remember, he sat out a half, and then he came in the second half because of, I don't remember what it was, a walkthrough or whatever. And then now he missed team meetings, so he got a healthy scratch. I do think they're going to need him going into the playoffs and things like that because Josh Allen could do what he did, but that takes a lot of wear and tear on that body. Also, if those couple interceptions could have came back and bite him in the butt, that's another one where we're saying you're doing too much, Josh. You can't be doing all this. On the other side, Tampa, it's tough. You need Bucky Irving back. You need Chris Godwin. I will say, though, this team is playing very well for having major injuries. They might be a scary team in the playoffs because once they get fully healthy, because they're going to win their division, when they get very healthy, I think they're going to be a tough out because Bucky Irving's going to bring a lot from that backfield that Sean Tucker did today. Another Rashard White on my bench that could have done something. No, he's done. But like you need Chris Godwin probably the most. Ibuka's being covered. Tez Johnson's okay. The other guy, Sterling Shep, they're okay. You need someone that's a playmaker outside of that. That just takes a little attention off of Ibuka. But could have been a good win for Tampa today, but unfortunately it was a loss. I still think they're a very good team the rest of this year.
Totally agree. Totally.
And listen, Mike Evans is I mean, that's still that's coming back to, they just got, he doesn't have that go-to receiver right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Ibuka, yeah, but I think he needs another one, and I don't think he needs Godwin back.
Well, and I think teams know that he's going to go to Ibuka, so we're going to double cover. So, get someone else out there that you need to fear as well. So, yeah. And that's why it was good when you didn't know who Tez Johnson and all these guys were. Now you've seen them play multiple weeks. Okay. We know how to cover them, plus getting Ibuka.
Okay. All right. Well, Anthony, why don't you take us into your first takeaway from this Sunday?
Yeah, I was going to come on here and just go crazy. But I get humbled very quickly. Bears versus Vikings.
Ooh.
JJ McCarthy had fans booing at him at home for this game today. Okay. Justin Jefferson showed a lot of frustration during this game. And do I think that he should be showing that? Hell yes. How many times do we got to throw a bum-ass quarterback out there for a once-in-a-lifetime talent? I mean, Jiminy Criminy. Like, he's had Kirk Cousins, okay. He's had Sam Darnold, okay. We're not talking about franchise guys. And then he's got this little midget guy out there. I hate J.J. McCarthy because of this. He had a 47 passer rating today. 47, okay? That's pee-wee bullshit right there. 2 interceptions, very inaccurate today. And I'm not going to come on this podcast today and applaud him for driving down that field to take the lead. Because guess what, bud? There was 4 quarters, and you couldn't play at all. He about pulled it off, where he was going to have the second time that he's had a game-winning drive. First time being against the Bears in Week 1. And then the Bears decided, well, we got that momentum. Last thing I'll say, too, is Vikings, I don't think JJ's the guy. Anthony Richardson is who you should go after, because then you got Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss back all over again, because that's Justin Jefferson. Besides the point. The only reason that this game even stayed close was because of the Vikings defense. Good job by them. Brian Flores, go get a head coaching job. You deserve it. because some of these times in Minnesota, it's like, I think you are the head coach. Now it's time to give roses to the Bears, okay?
Okay.
Ben Johnson has built a culture in Chicago. He has built a team that refuses to lose. Refuses. I think it's the past 3 weeks they've won because of their fourth quarter. It looked like when they scored that touchdown, there was no chance that they were going to drive down the field. All they needed was a field goal, which, if you're in my house and weren't sleeping, I literally said that a field goal can win this game for them, and I was pissed. Kickoff return, just a great return, dumb shit, blah, blah, blah. And they have a chance to be in first place after tonight because the Eagles and Lions play each other tonight, and Lions lose. The Bears are in first place. Do you know who was in last place last year for the NFC North?
The Bears.
The Chicago Bears. And who changed that? Ben Johnson. That culture is behind him. I was waiting here as a Vikings fan being like, well, I don't know if Ben Johnson's going to do it 1 year. Maybe I was just hopeful. This Bears team looks good. They're winning games when they need to. Do I think they're a threat for the Super Bowl? Probably not yet. But that culture there is very good for them. Good for the Bears. I'm going to be out $50 because I bet someone that the Vikings have a better record, and that ain't happening. I hope they bench him. Don't take a Michigan quarterback, okay? They've had one good one in their whole lifetime. That's Tom Brady.
Anthony, wait. Don't take a Michigan. I'll bet you if you were a Patriots fan, you like Tom Brady.
One guy. One freaking.
He did. He said it.
Michigan has been around for how many years? And one good quarterback? One? Notre Dame's got more better quarterbacks than that. Get the. And I will say,
Trey don't want that Bryce Underwood?
Yeah.
He might be coming out next year.
I'll take CJ Carr over that. But I will say this real quick. This is now hurting Kevin O'Connell's, the majestic, and oh my gosh, he can do no wrong and everything's great. We're seeing a team struggle really bad right now, and I think that goes to Kevin O'Connell. And if he loses Brian Flores, the Vikings are really uphill with this situation because you don't have quarterbacks coming out this year, and you might have a good draft pick. What are you going to go do? Your offense is okay.
Right.
So you're going to go get defense now? Like, defense is okay too. It's the quarterback. So I want Anthony Richardson. So Colts, you don't need him. Send him over.
You don't want Riley from the Colts?
No. Jesus Christ, no. I like him, but no.
No, I'm just teasing. Well, Tim, what did you feel about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was trying to take the page out of Bo Nix, trying to make a fourth quarter comeback, but 6 points in three quarters when you got a defense that's blitzing 70% of the time, which is an NFL high, and you can only score 6 points. He was missing receivers. I agree. He is not the guy. He's not the guy. I don't think he's the guy. He's still, but I get it. He's still kind of green because he hasn't played that much. How many games has he played so far?
Like 4,
6?
5, maybe, yeah.
So I don't know. He's missing on receivers. He's just, and that defense kept you in the game.
Yep.
I mean, and all the Bears were doing was kicking field goals.
Yeah.
And then they got that punt return, and I went, here they go again, and Cairo Santos kicks it. I think he had 3 or 4 field goals. I should put him up in my fantasy. Of course, Will Lutz had like 5 field goals today, so I can't really bench him for Will Lutz. But yeah, they're just not. They tried to get the running attack going with Aaron Jones and Mason, Jordan Mason, but if you could put 7 people in the box to shut that down, I'd let McCarthy try to beat me because he can. I mean, they were there, but yeah, I just don't know. He's got to start playing better. He's got to put 4 quarters together, not just the fourth quarter
or the last drive. That's all it was.
Really,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, Tim, why don't you take us into your second takeaway from today?
Oh, baby. This team here, 9-2. And I'm telling you right now, they are in the top 5. They beat the Kings and the Chiefs. I was saying, too many penalties. This game was sloppy. 20 penalties between the two teams. A lot of field goals. We had 1 touchdown per team. That was it. This was a snobber knocker. It was. The defenses were just, and I'm going to tell you right now, that Denver's defense, I mean, they didn't get after Patrick Mahomes a lot, but they did give up. You can really tell they're missing Surtain, which they have a bye this week. and then next week they play. I don't know who they play, but they should get him back after the bye. So they are really missing because Riley Moss got lit up today.
Yeah.
That one long throw to Tyreek, was it Tyreek? Thornton. I mean, he got burnt big time. He is not the. I mean, more than likely, Surtain would have been with him. But yeah, Denver's obviously just looked stagnant in the first quarter. But when they needed to at the end, they got that key drive. Knicks drove him right down to kick the field goal, and they did it perfectly because they didn't give Patrick Mahomes no chance whatsoever to get back on the field. That's how you got to do it. That's the blueprint of how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You've got to have a great defense and don't let Patrick Mahomes get the ball last. And they didn't. They got to him a little bit here and there, but nothing really. I think they had 3 sacks, but I mean, it was a really kind of a sloppy game. It really was. But yeah, it was a good win. Needed that win. I think we can win it. And now that the Chargers lost today, now we're up 2 games, and we're up 3, and we also have the tiebreaker right now with the Chiefs. They're in the hunt. They're on the outside looking in for the first time this late in a year. Yeah. I love that. Down the Chiefs. Screw you, Mahomes. Maybe there's a new king in the AFC West.
Okay. There's a lot of hot takes coming out of here. We'll have to see how it shakes out. Anthony, how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, this Denver team reminds me of the Vikings 3 or 4 years ago, 2022, where they're just winning close games at the end. I just still don't believe in them. I think there was so many opportunities today to get after the Chiefs and actually show your dominance, and they missed on some, or penalties brought them back, or whatever. And also, too, Travis Kelce could still play football, okay?
Yes, we can.
Second half, he started showing up and touchdown and blah, 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 and all this. Everything started rolling for him. I definitely agree. Once they get Surtain back, there'll be a full, complete defense because they can get after the quarterback and they can go man coverage and run with the best. I think he would have been on Rashid today if he would have played. But even the guy the other corner that had the pick, that was huge. Like
Bluffing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good win for them. I don't know if it'll put them in the top 5, but if they're not 5, they're 6. They're right there. I just wish they would have. That was at home. You have to now still play in Kansas City, and you barely won at home. You're going to go to Kansas City. Hopefully you can get that game as well. If you get that game, I feel like it's more of a statement than today's was. I think you should have beat them by 17, honestly, 14-17, and you just didn't. So we'll see. Good time to get a rest, though. Because remember, they played an international game, didn't get a bye after that, and now they're finally getting their bye. Good time to get rest and get healthy.
When do they play Kansas City again? Is it soon?
Christmas Day? I think it might be a Netflix game.
Yeah.
Christmas Day. They said it on the game that Christmas Day they'll play them again. So I think that's week 16, week 17.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in there. I think it's week 17. But yeah, Christmas Day. So that would be kind of on a short week because I think Christmas is on a Friday.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a great win. You had to have this win just for the simple fact you have to beat them at home.
Yep.
On the road, if you lose at home on the road, okay. But if you lose to them twice, that gives them all the momentum. And you beat Andy Reid, which I found out he's 18-4 or 20-4 after a bye. That's a great. I mean, that is. You beat an Andy Reid team after a bye. That should put you in the top 5. Come on, man.
One last thing I have to say, too. Sean Payton got trucked today.
Oh, yes.
Got trucked on that interception, and that referee trucked him. And then he gets up and he's looking around like, what the hell? Get off the goddamn field so that he can run there. So,
I agree.
I saw the slow-mo, and the ref, knew it was coming. He,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony. Well, I don't know if you got another game because I didn't get a game from you. So what is your takeaway here?
Yeah, just like I was talking about the 12 beat a curse. Let's wrap up today with saying, what a day for the NFL. What a day. You start off this morning with the international game that went into overtime. Now, was it a great game? Probably not. But extra time makes it a great game. And then you had 5 or 6 games in the noon slot that were one-possession games with less than 5 minutes to go. The red zone was like, holy shit. I think there was one game that was out of hand. Otherwise, they were all close games. And then you go into the 3 o'clock time, and you have pretty much the same thing. There was only one game that was not, close. And the Cardinals kind of started coming back a little bit, and it was too late, too little, or too late, little, too late. But then you go into tonight, where then you have the Lions versus the Eagles, 2 heavyweight teams coming from the NFC North. I think this is just a great day for the NFL. I bet Roger Goodell is sitting back and just smiling because this is what you asked for right here. Just a day where it's all good games, division games, rival games. You see people getting punched in the face after spitting on people. Not good again. But I also think this is a compliment to Paul Tagliabue that passed away in heaven because he started trying. He was initially the person that was like, we need to look at expanding this game. International, great game today. But they're the king of sports. 100% king of sports. There's nothing that can touch something like this. College football, and I say football in general because college football is really good on Saturday. And sometimes how good it is on Saturday makes Sunday a little hard to get a full day in of football. Today it was one of those days where you had to watch all day Saturday, had to watch all day Sunday. And I'm just going to sit here and enjoy it as a football fan because before you know it, this football season is going to be over, and I got to watch some dumbass sport, whatever it is, hockey, basketball, whatever, I don't care, and wait for the football again. So compliments to the NFL for their scheduling and great games today.
It was overall great games. The red zone was very busy today.
Yep.
No, I will say I'm kind of surprised you said, another sports. Obviously, you're going to say that, but I think you're really thinking of whatever TV show I'm going to put on.
Yeah. I got to watch some Mormon wife crap or some shit again or something.
No, Tim, you agree with all that? It was a good day overall.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the NFL is the king. I mean, you got fantasy, you got gambling, they've got it all, and they have good games. They have parity. The salary cap deal, that's why it is competitive.
Yep.
Every team has a shot every Sunday. You never know. You never know. So, I mean, it's great. I mean, just to sit down and watch it. I mean, if it's getting crappy outside, you can sit in your house or wherever, have a couple cocktails, and just watch some football.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I will say I feel like my favorite jersey this week was the Rams. I thought it was so sharp. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence. I'm kind of on the fence. That dark blue, I don't know. And then the field looked just like it. Their uniforms. I'm like,
their helmets were cool. Their helmets
were cool. Yeah,
but,
I liked it.
I think New England had the best jerseys this week. I did like it, and it was gray.
That light blue, yeah.
It was gray. It wasn't like it was that gray, and it was a perfect. I think that they won the best jerseys of the weekend.
Okay, well, we know I'm the true owner of that, but
okay.
All right, Tim. Well, why don't you take us into the results of your best bets? Did you keep your name this week?
Yeah, we're hanging 2-2. Texas State, they beat Southern Miss. Golden Eagles, my foot. I had Alabama getting the 5.5. They didn't show up. But I had Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, 5.5. And I had the Bears. I was looking pretty good, even with that. I was thinking that it was 16-16. I'm like, don't go for 2. Just kick the extra point. I still win the bet.
Yeah.
And then they went scored and they end up winning and winning altogether. So 2-2.
Well, that's a good weekend. Honestly, you even out, and then that's when you double down hard on a Sunday night game. So or Monday, because Monday night game's not the greatest. But that is episode 161. We gave our recap of the college football Saturday and the college football and NFL on Sunday. Tim's bet ended up 2-2, so a pretty solid weekend on that as well. We will be back on Wednesday when we recap the Sunday night game and Monday night game, talk about the top 10 and power rankings of the NFL, so we'll talk about that as well. If you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all those. We appreciate everyone. Have a great start to your week, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.